Hey guys, I am out here at my local auto auction and I stumbled across what I think is quite possibly the holy grail when it comes to used pickup trucks. And that is none other than this. This is the Chevy Avalanche, the first generation, but it isn't just any Avalanche. Let's get into what makes it so special. In 2002, when the Chevy Avalanche was launched, they had, of course, their super popular Chevy Silverado pickup truck, and they had their full-size SUV, the Chevy Suburban. And what they kind of wanted to do is blend the two together to make something that gave you the riding comfort of the Chevy Suburban and the utility of the Chevy Silverado, and that is how the Avalanche was born. So let's get into what makes the Avalanche so unique. Now, just like the Silverado crew cab, you do have a full-size rear seat for your rear seat occupants. But if you were to lift up this seat bottom and then fold down the seat back, that'll reveal your midgate, where you can twist this once both of these are unlocked and fold this down, and then you can see that you have full access to the actual truck bed. So if you have something that's a bit longer, you have the utility that you would have with a Silverado, but you get it in something a bit more comfortable. Not only could you fold down that midgate, but if you wanted to, you could, after folding these down, actually pull out the entire rear window. So you could just leave the midgate up entirely and still have access to the bed of the truck. So let's talk about the driving characteristics of the heavy-duty Avalanche. Now, having owned the heavy-duty version of the Yukon, I will say there are some differences to keep in mind when you are shopping the 1500 versus the 2500. Now, of course, the biggest component is the engine under the hood, where you are talking almost a 50 horsepower upgrade and over 100 pound-feet of torque benefit on the 8.1 versus the 5.3. Now, of course, you're not going to get as good a fuel economy, and because this has the much beefier axles, it's not as soft of a ride. It's a little more stiff. It's a little more like a heavy-duty truck. But thankfully, because this is built on the same platform as the Suburban versus being built on the Silverado platform, it kind of softens it up a bit. It's not as harsh of a ride as a Silverado HD. But I've got it out here on the test track, and let's see what those extra 50 horses and the over 100 pound-feet of torque do. Ooh, I spun the rear wheels there. And yeah, I mean, it's not a fast vehicle. This isn't a sports car. This is a truck. And where the real benefit is in this big motor is in towing. So if you are towing with this, you're going to get a benefit of roughly 4,000 pounds of additional towing capacity while getting the heavy duty version of this. And not only that, it just really helps when you're towing something, even if you're not going to exceed the towing capacity of the 1500, it is just much nicer to tow with because it is much easier to accelerate to get onto the highways. If you're going up over mountain passes while towing, you have way more available torque and horsepower, and it just feels more like a standard truck, but you have a full load behind you. Now, the vast majority of Avalanches came with Chevy's iconic 5.3 liter LS V8. But this isn't just the regular Avalanche, this is the heavy duty, which means that it comes with this monster of a motor, which is GM's 8.1 liter big block V8 engine, pumping out 340 horsepower and 455 pound-feet of torque. And that enabled this truck to be able to tow up to 12,000 pounds. And at the time, that was the same as the Silverado heavy duty back then. So you could get the comfort of a Suburban, but the towing of a heavy duty Silverado. Now, another reason why these Avalanches are so unique is, ooh, that tailgate is definitely busted there, is the fact that it came from the factory with this hard tonneau cover. And it is removable, believe it or not. You have these levers. If you unclip both of them, these actually just fold over onto each other, but they kind of just pull out once you do that, where you can just discard them, set them aside, so that way you have the full utility of an open pickup truck if you want it, but you can also have it covered so that all of your things are protected inside and locked away if you want that too. Now, one of the reasons that I love these GMT 800s is purely the comfort. These seats honestly feel like a lazy boy. I have a Yukon XL, and these seats are the exact same that you would find in the Yukon XL. This is the perfect road trip machine. It'll give you plenty of comfort, but not only that, the way that this dash is laid out is so simplistic with big, chunky, easy to use buttons and dials that just make it a classic that I think will always age properly. One of the main reasons I love these GMT 800s is because it is actually quite a soft ride. And I am not joking when I say or compare this to the ride of a Cadillac. It is that smooth and that comfortable. I mean, if you're someone that loves a soft, comfy cruiser, but wants the utility of being able to haul stuff and be able to use it as a truck to do truck things, this is the perfect vehicle for you. Because if you're looking at the Silverado, it rides a lot more like a truck, and it's going to give you that harsher, less forgiving ride. Whereas this, you can just kind of soak up the bumps, and just imagine sitting in this on a long road trip. I mean, man, if you've got like a boat to tow and you want to take it to a lake that's like 5 hours away, this is like the perfect vehicle to get for that, and probably the best use case scenario. If you've got horses and you want to tow your horse trailer and you've got a rodeo to go to a long ways away, it doesn't get any better. Now, for those of you that are regular viewers of this channel, you'll know I'm a huge fan of the GMT 800 platform, of which this is based on. But I'm a little more partial to the Suburbans or the Yukon XL simply because I love the idea of being able to have 3 rows of my friends and be able to tow like 10,000 pounds worth of weight behind us at the same time. But I get that not everybody needs 3 rows of seats, to where this makes it really compelling. I mean, you get 2 rows of very comfortable seats to be able to haul you and 3 of your friends, or heck, you and 4 of your friends if you want them to get a little bit cozy with each other, and you can tow 12,000 pounds, and then add on the fact that you can flop that midgate down and haul even more stuff in the bed of this truck. It makes it a pretty compelling truck, and I think probably one of the best used trucks out on the market. Not only that, but you add in the reliability of this generation of GM truck. I mean, it's kind of hard to beat. And so these 2500s have started to go up a lot in value. In fact, this particular one just sold last week here at the dealer auction for almost $13,000. Now, this has only 56,000 miles on it, so I think that's why it brought so much money. If this had a lot of miles, like over 200,000, it obviously wouldn't be quite as valuable, but at this mileage level, it's definitely kind of a collector status vehicle. But I think if you're out there shopping for one, expect to spend over 10 grand, especially if you get the heavy duty version. Now, if you're just looking for a regular Avalanche, you can find those out on the market for probably less than 5 grand if you look carefully. But yeah, I think this is a pretty special vehicle. I'm happy that I got to be able to show it to you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And for everything else, check out all TFL. This has been Brendan, Cole behind the camera. Take care.